Although it's just a single movie with only one release, K-pop Demon Hunters truly deserves a sequel. Not just because it brought together a huge fanbase, but also because there are still so many unanswered questions. And in this video, let's talk about what a sequel to K-pop Demon Hunters could explore, and what might happen next. 1. Redemption of the Demons. Let's start with something that could shift the entire dynamics of the sequel: demon redemption. In the final act of the first movie, Jinu sacrifices himself to save Rumi and help end Guima's reign of terror. At the time, we thought this was a definitive goodbye. He handed Rumi his soul, protecting her from a huge dark spell that could have destroyed everything. This scene was both heartbreaking and romantic, as it showed the final buildup of Rumi and Jinu's relationship, which was a connection that had been developing ever since they first met. But what if it wasn't the end? What if Jinu's sacrifice broke his demonic chains not just metaphorically, but literally? Jinu's entire arc was rooted in guilt. When he first aligned with Guima, he demanded that all his memories be erased. That already hinted that he wasn't just joining for power, he was trying to forget something. His past, his pain, maybe even someone he loved. But when Rumi came into his life, his humanity slowly returned. He began to hesitate. After seeing the demon marks on her body, he protected her during the sauna attack. He asked her about her marks. And finally, in that climactic battle, he gave up everything for her. So what does that mean for the sequel? I personally think that it was made to open a gate for the sequel, because now imagine how things could evolve in the second movie. What if the act of soul transference didn't destroy him? Instead, it set off a cosmic ripple. His soul isn't extinguished. What if it allowed him to get rid of his demonic part? If this is the case, this becomes the proof that demons can, in fact, redeem themselves. So it is very likely that Jinu might reappear, maybe not fully physical, but possible as a guide, a spirit, or even, as I just mentioned, a restored body. His return would be a cliffhanger at the beginning of the second movie, because it not only will shock the girls, but will change the dynamics in the underworld. It might inspire other demons to rebel. Imagine side characters, minor demons from the first film, starting to defect. Maybe there's one who helped Jinu escape at the last second. Maybe another saw the way Jinu looked at Rumi and began to question Guima's lies. What if a new faction emerges? Demons who want to be free, who don't want to live under fear anymore. Jinu's story could be the key to an entire uprising. And this would force the human world to confront a new question. Are they willing to accept demons who want redemption? Or will prejudice and fear close the door on peace again? This might be a confusion that the girls will experience in terms of understanding their real intention.
The world trembled when he roared.
Second, Rumi's father. We learned in the first movie that Rumi is the daughter of a demon and a warrior. That alone made her unique, torn between two worlds. Her powers are golden because they were born from contrast, the light of a warrior and the darkness of a demon. But we never got to meet her father. We never learned how he and her mother met or what happened to him. The sequel could change that. A relationship from the two worlds against each other is a really interesting idea. There is definitely a moment in their life where Rumi's father and mother understand each other. It might be the same development that Rumi or Juni had, or something even different. The hunters start fighting with demons instinctively, so what was the thing that stopped Rumi's mom to do that? On the other hand, what if her father wasn't evil at all, but someone like Jinu, a demon who turned away from Guima early, who fought for peace in secret, and who fell in love with a human? Their relationship was forbidden. Her mother had to hide him. Maybe he fought in one of the earliest battles against the demon army and lost. Or worse, maybe he was sealed away by the very humans he tried to protect. If he's still alive, the story becomes even more powerful. Rumi might seek him out, traveling to ancient ruins, forgotten temples, or even slipping into the underworld using her unique powers. And once she finds him, she might face a devastating question. Is he still the man her mother loved? Or has centuries of isolation turned him into something darker? And let's not forget, his identity could shake Rumi's sense of self. What if he wasn't just any demon, but someone close to Guima's inner circle? Maybe he was the original wielder of the golden hormone and passed it to Rumi through blood. That would mean Guima wants her not just because of her power, but because of who her father was.
The Saja boys will sit with us.
What?
Rumi, what are you doing?
3. The origins of the Saja boys. The Saja boys were breakout antagonists in the first film, but aside from Jinu, they mostly acted as stylish threats. We never really got to know the others. That has to change. Let's go back. What if the Saja boys were once real musicians? Maybe they were a struggling underground band, humans with dreams, passion, but no fame. Along comes Gu, offering them a contract. You'll be stars, you'll be legends, you'll never be forgotten. All you have to do is sing for Guima. In the sequel, Rumi could start seeing flashes of their past through their performances. Maybe when their energy syncs with hers, she sees glimpses of who they once were. And Jinu's soul, if he returns, might carry memories of their final days as humans. He might tell Rumi how he watched them fall, one by one, and how he tried to stop it. Although it is almost confirmed that the Saja boys won't be coming back, they definitely need to have a backstory. And you guys, what do you actually think about that?
We keep meeting like this.
Leo could smash her demon face in right now. Thanks for coming.
4. Zoe and Mira's families. Rumi took center stage in the first film, but it's time for Zoe and Mira to shine. And the way to do that is through their pasts. Let's start with Zoe. She's cheerful, loyal, always lifting others up. But there's a fragility behind her smile. In the first movie, we saw her being the glue that held the group together. But we never saw who held her together. That's the clue. Maybe she comes from a high-achieving family, parents who only praised her when she was successful, who told her that being emotional was dramatic and that mistakes were shameful. Seeing her confronting that when a demon infiltrates her family's circle, a distant cousin, a former best friend, someone who fell to Guima's temptations, it would shatter her idea of what makes someone good or bad, and it might be the first time Zoe has to make a selfish choice for herself. Mira, on the other hand, is the quiet one. The thinker, she's always composed, but silence hides scars. As we saw in the beginning of the family, she grew up in a fractured home. So actually, she was always a little bit different in the family. In these types of families, the different child usually suffers to explain their feelings, and also seeks for a place to be accepted. The sequel could show her being forced to confront emotion that she was seeking. Maybe a demon claims to be someone from her bloodline, a long-lost uncle who made a dark pact, or a friend from the past who is now half demon, begging for help. And the final important decision for Mira. Does she forgive and guide them, or does she close herself off again? By the way, these aren't just side plots, they're the soul of the sequel. Because once all 3 girls, Rumi, Zoe, and Mira, start to face the darkness in their families and themselves, they'll unlock something even stronger than the Golden Barrier. After all, K-pop Demon Hunters 2 could be a beautiful storm of mythology, emotional growth, and moral complexity. The first film gave us the spark. The second one can give us the fire. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments. Which of these storylines would you be most excited to see? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more theories from the world of K-pop Demon Hunters.